Today's 2-minute fairy tale is one of my favorites because it's about two sisters who don't hate, abuse, or try to kill each other. Snow White and Rose Red. This is by the Brothers Grimm, and if you're like, there's another Brothers Grimm Snow White. Yes, there is, but it's different. In German, this is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is Snow White in Snow White and Rose Red. You can tell they're similar, but in English we translate them as the same name, but different character. Snow White and Rose Red are sisters who live in a cottage with their poor widowed mother. The story actually never describes them as having different colored features. The mom just also has a white rose tree and a red rose tree, and they're like those trees. It's only their personalities which are described as different. Snow White is more introverted and quiet and gentle and meek, and Rose Red likes to run about with nature and play with butterflies, and they love each other. They constantly say to each other, "We will never leave each other, never so long as we live." One day in the middle of winter, a talking bear shows up at their door, and they let him in, let him warm up by the fire. They all become friends with the bear. They even wrestle with him and hit him with sticks. He stays with them all winter, but then in summer he says he has to go and guard his treasure from a wicked dwarf. And the dwarf's kind of like a Karen. One day in summer, they're walking along and they see the dwarf has his beard stuck in a tree. He asks them to help them. They cut his beard, and then he's mad that they cut his beard. This continues over the summer. He'll be in some kind of peril. They save him, and he's bitter about it. He gets his beard caught in a fishing line. An eagle carries him off. They fight the eagle. And he's not just ungrateful. He calls them toadstools, clumsy, stupid, senseless geese. Well, one day they come across him, and he is about to be killed by that same bear that stayed with them that one winter. And the dwarf says to the bear, "Hey, eat these girls instead of me, please," and calls them fat as young quails. But the bear kills him with one swipe of his paw. Then suddenly his bear skin falls off, and he is a handsome man dressed all in gold. He was like, "The dwarf cursed me, and I had to be a bear until he died. Now he's dead, and I'm a handsome prince." Here's where we hope that they have grown up a bit and are not the children that they were at the beginning, that they're teenagers now. Because Snow White marries him, Rose Red marries his brother, so they get to stay together the rest of their lives. They bring their mother to live with them, and she even brings the rose trees that stand in front of the palace as they live happily ever after. If you want a deeper dive into this fairy tale, check out number 18 on my fairy tales playlist. As always, check out my book, Dust Spells, and my podcast, Folk Tales and Fairy Lore.